done, like, then it just works. So we can go test it to see if it does what we think it should do. I guess we actually have to snag the username off of this guy. Didn't have the remove all bots function actually created. Alright, well, theoretically we're finished. So let's compile it and then go test it out. Shit. Alright, so that is good to go. So let's boot this thing up, jump into a level, and see if we can kick ourselves. So you're talking about the game option stuff, and the game option stuff, I haven't looked into that bug yet, so can't tell you that one. But we're not going to release a hotfix, and if that stuff is broken, then you won't be able to do it until the next update. Well, that's a bunch of spam. Vote to vote has ended, and we're screwed. Alright, so our level actor is check vote to vote. Actual votes, cast votes. Okay, so multicast in vote to vote. Vote to vote. Yeah, okay, we have screwed up stuff here. Generic vote. Alright, so this in time is going to be there. Alright, so set the actual vote stuff working properly. Otherwise, what we need to do we need to set vote to vote status needs to be set to EBS vote status none after that. So we also need to do multicast end vote for vote. Okay, we'll do that after we set does check vote set the actual status? No. Alright, so we'll set the vote to win, multicast that, reset it, and then set its status to none. We then need to we need to onrep vote to vote changed. And then, okay, we do actual vote. Ooh. We'll set that to start with. To copy everything out of it. So clear votes, set the status in progress, set the time, and then we need to multicast votes started. With actual vote. Well, this should take care of this stuff, so in vote to vote should work, so we don't have to do the on rep. Clear our votes, start the actual vote. If the vote lost, reset on rep. We don't need to on rep here. So I think this is what we need to do. So let's check it out then. So I think that's it. Let's see, check generic victory. If when we don't need to actually do the on reps, I don't think. We should be okay, so let's just not do that. We'll have to build again. Let's put this up. All right, let's see if we can vote here. Would you like vote to add a bot? Would you like to vote to add one bot? Yes. No, it didn't end, you son of a bitch. Well, let's see if it ends at the end of its time. It just doesn't do shit. It's like, yeah, would you like to vote? Yeah, fuck yourself. Shit. All right. Did I build? Let's just stop it and make sure we build. Oh, okay, so the majority didn't get here, so it's probably that the majority vote didn't actually get reached because we have half plus one and it divided whatever by whatever and didn't do anything. But total voters should have triggered. Hello, Kento. Yes, 7-hour stream, I guess. I'd like to get finished with this and have it work, so I mean, a nice bookend, like it'd be complete delivery of a package of a feature, which is generic voting on stuff, and just works start to finish. Because at the start of the stream, I designed the feature, and if by the end of it it's done, it's kind of cool. It feels good to get that finished. So I'm trying to get there. Workhouse hours reminds me of the name for our tech director at Molten. His last name was Kriegshauser, which is a pretty badass last name to have. Alright, so /vote add bot. Would you like to vote to add a bot? Yes. Okay, so handled vote. Oh, okay, yeah, I need to. Yeah, we need to say actual vote dot status equals this vote win. So multicast it out there, the vote's over, and that should do it. So let's see how it works. It's good that people are actually asking questions about stuff like, hey, when you go to Steam, how long are you going to actually run the game? Because it is an online game, right? As soon as we turn off the servers, it's going to be much more difficult to find games. Like, the game does run completely offline, but if you can't find other people, that's not fun at all. And not having dedicated servers, a few people already know how difficult it is to just set up a basic server for people to join. It's pretty much impossible to get it running and keep it running for any real length of time. So yeah, we'll be probably supporting servers for at least 3 years. We got the contract signed for 3 years, so I mean, it's going to be at least that long. We've already signed up to pay for it, so that's the real litmus test, is if we're actually going to pay for it. But that's also one of the things that kind of sucks about other games that I've worked on, is just they get shut down. And I think if this game is actually live for 3 years, it'll be the longest running game I've worked on. And that's just so stupid. Alright. It said it passed, but there's no bot. So let's go to our, I think it's the arena level? Which company are you getting servers from? It's a good question. We are getting our servers currently from didn't get called, huh? Handle vote. We never actually called handle vote. Alright. Our backend server, so our Java backend servers are running on Amazon Web Services, because those servers are pretty cheap, and because the Java backend server is real, there's no reason we need a lot of power for it. So that's on Amazon Web Services, and Amazon's really good for setting things up quickly and kind of being able to flexibly move stuff around wherever you want. But it's not the best for kind of longevity, or the best for game servers, because you get charged more for bandwidth. So our game servers are running out of rack space, which are bare metal servers. All right. Looks like it actually works. Add bot failed. You figured Azure has better rates these days. Well, Azure is not a bad plan for stuff, but when it comes to running our servers, like, we're not running Windows servers for our game servers or for our backend. All of our servers are Linux servers, and that's to save a lot of money on license costs. Also, Unreal server runs infinitely better on a Linux server than it does on a Windows server. So user ID is not defined. All right, so it's got to be down here. Yeah, Microsoft has branding problems. They do Linux servers, but I guess most people don't even realize it. Also, I'm much more familiar with Amazon Web Services. I've used Amazon Web Services professionally throughout my entire career. So that'd be like 8 or 9 years of AWS experience. Like, you're not gonna, like, yes, I could probably go over to Azure, and if I could get a better deal on something, but nothing replaces just knowing all the ins and outs of the systems. Where I'm able to go set up a brand new AWS instance, and I can leverage knowledge that I've known forever. So would you like to vote to kick user generic user 1331? Yes. You have been put in. And it doesn't do jack shit. Oh no, I'm back to the UI level. Shit, I kicked myself. Well, damn. No, that's how it's supposed to work. Alright, so let's make sure ban works as well. Yeah, I don't know. Like, my brother works on, one of my brothers has a job. Yeah, the suicide vote. They're like medical company. I think one of the companies he's working for, they're thinking about using Azure. It's not a bad deal. It's just there's so many things. Like, we use AWS for like Route 53 for DNS, for management of certificates, for their load balancers, and everything else. And I know the ins and outs. And like, you run into some really weird stuff with games. Like, one of the issues we had with like Dragon Age Legends back when we were doing the load testing for that, we were trying to get as many users as we could connected to our backend server, and then like our load balancers blew up at 1,500 users, and that was just because Amazon's elastic load balancers blow up at that level, and have to take time to scale up and stuff like that. And if you don't know, like, okay, the load test failed because the load balancer wasn't warmed up, we have to do some other stuff. Would you like to add 10 of bots? Yes. Alright, there we go. Would you like to remove a bot? Yes. Are the bots not doing anything? Like, they're just chilling out, doing jack shit? I'm gonna punch all you bastards. Why are the bots doing nothing? Huh. I'll have to look into it. Maybe I got some game options or something that they're confused about. So remove bot, yes. Looks like removing bots didn't work. So we got our bot num, which is going to be set to 10. So vote results. So we're going to go to remove bot and our level utils. So we're going to grab the world, and we're going to get our player controller. We're casting to a Dashkin player controller. Okay, I don't want to get the player controllers. I want to get other stuff. Yeah, the bots are just, I quit. I've had enough of this shit. Yeah, okay, so it's not get player controller, it's just get controller iterator. And let me look. We've got AI controllers. AI controllers go off of this sort of thing, so we actually want to cast this to a Dashkin AI controller. So I think that's all we have to do. Yeah, server stuff's always one of those things that is interesting. Like, a lot of the problems I have on previous projects is all the estimates for everything are based off of success. And, I mean, yeah, sure, okay, like, owned actor. I guess it's get player proxy? And you might think, okay, basing your server estimates off of success is a great idea. Well, it kind of is, but the problem with a lot of projects, especially online projects, is their games are risky, and if your project gets canceled, you need to turn everything off. So you never actually get to a state where you have real servers that you have signed up for. So it's kind of cool with this project since we have full control over it, and we're like, it doesn't matter. This game's going to exist in 10 years, regardless of if it's successful or not. We can actually just go do things. You know, we can go do things like sign up for servers and have bare metal servers and cloud servers and have contracts that give us pretty good deals on everything. And also having the nice server setup of, you know, actually having cloud servers for dynamic, you know, quick scaling if we need them, and also having bare metal servers because they're cheaper, which is something that you always talk about in server tech, but you never really get to. At least in games. If you actually get to that point, your game is so big, and if you're the guy who was there from the beginning, you're probably not working on the maintenance mode or that part of the project anymore. It's going to be whatever junior engineers or IT people that you end up hiring. Because if your game's successful and you have need for all that stuff, well, you're probably working on the sequel or an expansion, and you need your best and most experienced engineers working on that. They don't need to be screwing around with cost stuff. Team size max is 1. Alright, so let's take a look. Team size max is still 1. Go see if it's just a UI problem or not. Yeah, this needs to be a single decrement. I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking that, well, I do know what I was thinking. I was thinking wrong. At least the first thing worked. So we can give it a look and see if it's actually doing what it should. So our game option players are 3. Now it's 4. Now it's 5. Decrease players' bots. Increase players. Decrease players. Remove bots. Remove bot, add bot, add bot, add bot, add bots. Remove bot, remove bots, remove all bots, decrease players, balance teams. Alright. Alright, so balancing teams works too. So what are these guys, why aren't they doing anything? Let's go take a look at that. They're just not doing a whole hell of a lot, are they? Well, I guess bots are just broken because they're not doing a damn thing. I guess we're just gonna use the local player controller thing, and we're just gonna grab the first player controller. Let's see if that does it. Because I pulled out the spawning of the bots. We need to get world safe, don't we? No, just get world will work. But we pulled out some of these things so that we didn't have to be inside of a player controller to spawn a bot, which is... There might be other bugs. There might be like if you jump into a match and you spawn a bot, if you leave that match, then the bot no longer works. Which would be kind of a... Yeah, that would suck. But it'd be something I'd at least know. Because they should be able to look after themselves, but if they can't, if they need whoever made them to stick around, nah. That's something I'll have to fix. I'll have to write it down. How the bots and how the actual player works is some of the worst code, because we wrote it, or I wrote it, before I really understood how you're supposed to network stuff in Unreal. And I made a big whole complicated mess of crap. And it works, but it doesn't really work well. So, kind of one of those things that if I was doing it again, I would do things very differently. Alright, there they go. if you vote to boot the bot, it boots you instead. That's fucking funny. Well, let's put up a dedicated server and see if we can still run our commands. Yeah, so the bots do have an issue there, which I'm going to go write down. Bots depend on creating player to exist. And I'm not sure how big of a task it is, but I'll just throw it on there. Alright, looks like it works. Alright, let's boot this up with 3 players. And make sure that voting works across all of them. Holy shit, it works. That worked too. Awesome. So voting works. That's great. And this other guy booted up over into the lobby. Alright, so voting's done. Voting works. Alright. So I think I'll just go ask Adam if there's anything else he wants me to work on. Looks like he's doing some good work there. Yeah, vote kick Jeff. He knew it. It was the first one. No contact is on. I think he means off. He'll be kicked. Alright, I think he's got it. Cool. Alright, well, I'm going to be done here. So thanks for sticking around, and I hope everybody has an excellent day. I'm just going to submit my changes real quick. And all that. So, excellent. Fuck kick Jeff is new nerf for Jeff. Alright, cool. So that's all submitted. So I'm going to kick off that build and be done for today. Think we're still evenly matched. Jeff just have a lot more time. It's also like consistent time. Like if you actually play consistently for like an hour or 2 hours, you get a hell of a lot better. Anyway, I am finished. So thanks for hanging out and have a good rest of your day.